First of all, did you guys at all this week, I mean, you did clinch your third straight championship. You and I talked the other night, but has there been any talk about that, about enjoying that moment? I know you can get it out right this weekend, but has there been any thoughts about enjoying that, celebrating that sort of thing this week?
You know what? It's not a lot we've talked about. I mean, we're still trying to get better. 1, 2, we're going to a difficult place to play, and we're going against a team that's trying to get the number 1 overall seed, just like we are in the playoffs. So, you know, that's really been the focus. That's what we've talked a lot about. We've got a tremendous amount of respect for Bemidji, what they do, how they do it. A very good hockey team. Last time we played them, they beat us in our own building. So obviously, I think right now they're feeling pretty good about us coming to their building.
How would you say, since you guys split that series in January, that you guys are different, and how do you think they're different?
Well, we'll see how tomorrow's practice goes, but we've got some different guys in the lineup that weren't, and I'm probably assuming the same thing for them. It's this time of the year. You have guys moving in and out. You look at the records, there's a lot of mirror imaging going on there where, you know, both of us have had a good run here over the second half. And we're both trying to prepare for the playoffs, and again, going back to trying to get that number 1 overall seed. So we both teams know they're playing at home in the first round, which is something we've talked about, which is a goal I'm sure Tommy had for his club and we've had for ours. But, you know, they're playing well. Their power play, Brady, the group that they have, Muck, you know, their depth, their upperclassmen are playing very, very well. Their underclassmen are contributing. They've got great goaltending. Their penalty kill's been outstanding. You put all that together, it's a tough hill to climb. So we've got a challenge in front of us.
It's certainly fun that the two rivals, and both being in state, being 1-2 in the league, and playing on the final weekend for essentially a championship is that seems to be kind of a fun thing in college hockey. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, these are always meaningful games, and anytime we play Bemidji, they're meaningful. I don't believe, whether it's in our building or in their building, year in and year out, because we're travel partners, that there isn't something on the line. And so there's a lot on the line this weekend. Opportunities for both clubs, and, you know, a chance to try and get yourself two best teams in the league as far as records are concerned, and playing for a lot. So it's an opportunity you want to, as a player. This is kind of the time of the year that you get excited about. You know, there's been a lot of rubber on the road from October to where we're at now at the end of February. And so a lot of excitement going into the weekend.
When you look at last weekend, getting healthier, scoring 18 goals, giving up none, what kind of momentum, how can you build off of that going forward?
Well, you want to be positive about getting a sweep at home in our league, because it's not easy. And then you hit the reset button on Monday. It's just kind of the way our league is, because if you don't, and you keep looking in your rearview mirror about what had happened before, you get ran over. And we can't afford that, especially with where we're going. If we're not on point, it's going to be an awfully long night and potentially a long weekend. So our opportunity lays in front of us, where hopefully we can get there with not a lot of snow, not any issues travel-wise, and get an opportunity on Friday to play for a championship.
Mike, the grind of the hockey season, you talked about the length of the season, and in some ways it's flown by, and in some ways it's been daunting, right? With some of the things you alluded there with the travel and stuff. What have you learned about your team as you head into the last weekend of the regular season?
Well, we've been pretty resilient, you know, and what I mean by that is we've had, as we've already mentioned here, different guys in the lineup at different times, providing different roles, you know. We've had our upperclassmen, as Bemidji has, make a statement in their play. You know, Mark Michaelis is playing well. Parker Toomey's playing well. Charlie Gerard 3 seniors. You look at Nick Rivera and Josh French and the impact that they've had on us this year. Maybe not so in goals and assists, even though I think Nick and Josh are being as productive as they've ever been. Just killing penalties and being the leaders that they are, being hard to play against. We've had some different guys step up at different times. And when you have that, hopefully that builds some confidence. I think the leadership group that we have in there, I feel comfortable with. I think the guys definitely feel comfortable following that group. They've been the example setters, whether it's at the rink or away from it. And we're going to continue to lean on that group, not only this weekend, but for the rest of the year.